all the rain you've blessed us with, and Father, for keeping us safe from the storms. Father, I pray that you would be with us in this meeting this afternoon. Help us to do good work for our people. I thank you for the country we live in. I thank you for the tribe that we serve. Pray that you'd be with our chair, each member here. Thank you for the traveling grace getting here, and pray you'll be with us as we go to our homes after a while. Go with us now, Father, and forgive us. Help us do what's right for our people. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Thank you. Proceed. Roll call, please.
Curtis Snell.
Here.
Chris Oakes.
Here.
Bill England.
Here.
Bill John Baker.
Here.
Jack Baker.
Here.
Harley Buzzard.
Here.
Julia Coates.
Here.
Bradley Cobb.
Me.
Joe Crittenden.
Here.
Jody Fishenhawk. Meredith Rayleigh.
Here.
Janelle Fulbright.
Here.
Don Garvin. Chuck Hopkins Jr.
Here.
China Glory Jordan.
Present.
David Thornton.
Present.
Kara Cowan Watt.
Honey.
John Masters. No, John Masters. Okay, we have a form.
That's not good.
Like approval for the May the 12th regular session meeting.
Move to be approved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Approval for the May 13th subcommittee meeting.
I move to be approved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? No reports on natural resources. Angela Drews.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, committee members. You have my written report, so I'm not going to go over anything on that for time's sake. And if you have questions, I'll take those. I would like to say thank you to Mr. Chairman for allowing on the agenda to move the construction and facilities report to right after natural resources. Since I'm reporting on both those, I don't have to sit down and come back. So moving right along, I wanted to give you an update on some of the construction projects we have. First and foremost, your bricks out here on the front. Just so you'll know, we have had two really critical projects that have got time crunches on them, and we will be done with those the end of this week, and we will be back out here to finish up the brick project. We have had to do a lot of shopping around for brick. As you can tell, what is out there does not match perfectly, but we have also found a situation where we're not going to find brick that match perfectly. So we have shopped around and found some to match as best we can, and we're going to go ahead and get those put up, and we may actually have to look at some other methods of maybe doing something to the other brick to bring them closer to matching, or doing some sort of landscaping that disguises where it's not going to match perfectly. But we're going to be getting back on your building the first of next week, so thank you for being patient with us on that. The Veterans Center, we are working on the construction documents at this point. We have signed a contract with Cherokee Nation Construction Management for the Powwow Grounds restrooms, so that will be getting started. And we asked that in our contract be completed by July the 31st. Now, there were a couple of dates that it got pushed back on the signing of the contract, and they did ask us to extend that by every day that the contract didn't get signed, which was just 2 or 3 days. So the very end of July, 1st of August, that project will be completed. Veneta Clinic, as you know, we've acquired some property for the Veneta Clinic to be constructed on, and we are finalizing the environmentals on that. Marcoma Gym, we are putting on the finishing touches to that facility with the dollars that we currently have available. We have asked for $100,000, and that is going to be in one of the budget mods. I don't know if it's on this one or not, but we are doing some painting and putting down some flooring, but we also hope to have that facility available to some of the health staff that will be housed there, and available to employees to come in and use the gym by the end of July. The girls' dorm, looks like we will have that ready within about a month for health to go ahead and make their move over to that facility. And then the boys' dorm should be ready in about another 4 weeks after that. So within the next 2 months, we hope to have health moved over to that facility. We selected a construction firm the end of this past week for the spring house at the Saline Courthouse to be disassembled and put back together. So within the next 2 to 3 weeks, we hope for construction to get started on that project. So we're very excited about that because this will be actually the first major thing that has been done at this site as far as getting some historical reconstructive work done. One other thing that I wanted to report on was we had an Intertribal Emergency Management Coalition conference in Tulsa, or in Catoosa, and we had representatives from almost every agency. We had Department of Defense there, we had FEMA there, we had city and county municipalities there, and it was an excellent networking conference for the tribes that are part of Item C to come and meet with all the different facets of people that are involved with emergency management to find out exactly what tribes need to be doing to be prepared for emergency events. So that was a wonderful conference, and everybody was extremely pleased with the information that was provided to them, and not only were the tribes asking for it to be held again, but so were the people that are involved in emergency management. So it was an excellent time for those folks to come together and find out what each party's doing. So that concludes my natural resources section of the report.
Yes.
Dr. Kruger, it's your...
Yes, he was. Made an excellent presentation.
Jack?
Yes. The resolution for a grant proposal for Brownfield's lead-based paint cleanup grant for the Sling Courthouse. Will the dismantling of the Sling Courthouse affect this in any way, or should this still go forward?
No, it should still go forward. Yes, sir.
David?
Angela, I've got a person over in our district that is real interested in some property over in Adair County that we're supposed to be looking at to purchase, and it has something to do with adding on to some property of what's already there. I know about 1/10 of what's going on.
Okay.
And that's what I want to ask you about, because I think you probably know where the property is and where the property that they want that the nation is looking into purchasing there. And Mr. Seven Stars is the person that, who handles that type of thing for you?
Okay, so who handles land acquisition for me? I've got Pat Gwynn, and I also...
That's who he keeps bringing up, is Pat Quinn.
Okay,
So we might check with him, and I know he knows this guy.
okay. So he's just interested in if we're moving forward on it?
Yeah, and I'd like to see where it's at, and I probably would like to go
Okay,
see it.
I'd like to meet with you after this meeting, if you don't mind,
Okay.
and talk to you a little bit about that.
Okay, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Where we're at on the J Clinic.
They are working, let me make sure I'm getting that one right. Working on the roof right now. I wanted to make sure I was telling you the right one. But where it will not stop raining, Mother Nature's not being kind to us right now, we're probably going to have some insurance claims because the water just keeps pouring in. Where they're actually up there working, it's creating more leaks than what was there before. So the contractor is out there working and installing the pitched roof, but where it won't stop raining, anytime they get rain, it's just causing more and more leaks. So from what I understand, we're probably going to have to replace floor tiles, ceiling tiles, but we are moving forward with the new roof. So,
But the crew is there working
yes, sir.
when they can.
Yes, sir.
I have more questions for Mr. Bruce. Thank you.
If you,
You want to go on to...
sure.
Chuck?
For the facilities report, just 2 or 3 things to mention here. In our warehouse, we have taken out, if you were familiar with Inside the big warehouse park, there was offices that procurement used to be located in. We have gone in and torn those out, which is going to create a lot more room in our warehouse for us. So just wanted to report on that. We are working on repairs of the Katua Street properties. Since we're going to have legal interns and lots of different interns coming and going over the summer, and also sometimes we have dignitaries that come in that we don't have a place to have those people stay overnight. The White House gets booked up a lot, so we are making some repairs to the duplexes on the Katua Street property that we purchased. So other things that we're just working on around here is just doing inspections and repairs of our equipment. We're working on HVC units, doing road repairs and drainage repairs and building inspections. So trying to be more proactive instead of waiting until we have an issue. So, and that's all I have for facilities at this point.
Yes, Tom.
Where were the duplexes on Katua Street? Where are they at?
They're in between the Supreme Court building and,
Oh, I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah.
You're not gonna have people stay there.
well, sure. We're painting, replacing the carpet. And
Okay. They're between the Supreme Court building and
the
Cable
cable
company.
company.
Yes, David.
Also, I'd like to know something about the land acquisition of the Red Bird old home site. Should you get me something on
Okay.
where we're at?
Okay. Another thing that I wanted to go ahead and mention to you guys, because I know Councilman Buzzard has brought this up, but we have got Wendell Cochran working on some of the landscaping issues around the complex. In the past, the extra measure to put down weed paper and to actually put down edging was bypassed, and we just planted things. And I know out at the in front of the complex where our brick welcome sign is, basically, if you notice right now, they've sprayed Roundup to kill out everything that was there, and Wendell's going to be coming in and taking out everything that's dead and actually putting down weed paper and putting in edging and putting in new flowers. So right now, it doesn't look real great, but we're in the process of getting all the dead stuff out and putting down weed paper so that we don't have grass growing up in the flowers. So we're working on those types of issues as well. So if you see things dying in between already established bushes and things, it's because we're trying to get the weeds killed out so we can come in and put down weed paper and edging. So, no, that's what that is.
Tom.
Angel, on the other side of the courthouse, the old Thompson House, you might be able to purchase that, and it was an old hotel. And if we're really having an overflow problem with visitors, that might be it still has where the old hotel part was, and all the second story can be restored.
We've looked at it recently. You know, we have a plan for downtown Tahlequah, and our main focus, you know, is around the square, and we're also working with C&E on that. So we're taking it chunks at a time, but we have actually visited that site. And
I've been in it maybe like up to a year ago. It needs a lot of work, but it still has a lot of historical.
It does. Yeah, we've studied the history on it. It's got a ton of electrical work and issues that would need to be addressed, but it's a neat place.
Jody, you have the floor.
When did we buy the duplex?
Oh, has it been a year and a half now, or has it been closer to a year?
About a year.
About a year.
Is that all we bought? Just
And it wasn't just the duplexes, it was an old law office and, yeah, it's 2 duplexes, and then there's an old law office as well. So we own everything from, is the law office the first building?
Yes.
From the law offices now all the way to the corner where the Supreme Court building is. Everything in between there. So we almost own that whole square, with the exception of where Cochran Realty is. And, because Cochran, or the gentleman that owns Cochran Realty, he also owns Tahlequah Cable, and then there's a little shop in between Cochran Realty and Court Mall.
Yes.
And he owns that. So, we don't own that, and we don't own, well, the car lot, and, what's it called? Killer Pond. But, well, there's still quite a, we own about half of it.
So we took possession of all your,
Yeah. We refer to those as the Ewart property. It's been reported to you guys before, but the Ewarts owned it.
We have any more questions for Angela? Thank you, Angela.
Thank you.
Real Estate Services, Linda Donaldson.
Good afternoon. I believe my report was in the packet, and so if you have any questions, we'll go from there.
Yes, Mr. Stewart.
What's the tourism significance for the half acre behind the post office at Park Hill?
I believe that half acre behind Park Hill, it's for some cultural purposes. They want to, we had bought another half acre there, and we also bought that little church and the little acreage it had with it, and we're trying to acquire a block of that. And the next step is to acquire the mobile home park that directly adjoins the Heritage Center in the back. And they're going to use that for some tourism type aspects, and that's why we're acquiring those pieces. It'll work with the Heritage Center and that type of thing.
Yes, Angela.
Just to add to what Linda said, I believe that they are looking at turning that into an RV park, because during the holiday, we don't have a place for citizens that want to come with RVs to actually park and have a nice place to stay. So they're looking at an RV park with C&E to develop that.
And basically, the infrastructure is going to be somewhat there because mobile homes were there first.
Right. I was curious, just running around there a lot, I just wondered what the historical tourism significance was, so it's such thing.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
The other question is, on number 6, you've got several properties in Texas.
Yes, we do.
What are those and how large are they?
The one in Garland, Texas is about 5 acres, and it's in a very strategic place, so I believe at one time C&E was considering doing some kind of development, so that's still being looked at. The other acreage in Bogota, Texas, it's also called the Red River Properties, and it is about 600 acres. We have property also in Stevens County that is about 80 acres. And I think we have about 160 additional mineral acres out there as well.
Jody, you're up.
my little fella down at Cherokee is getting a little upset. I'm gonna tell you right now, there's gonna end up being a shoot down there over this land. I don't know any other way to say it than Adair County people shoot each other over land. He's got about 4 or 5 acres down there, and he wants back. And I'm just telling you, because I've told you all the last year, he is really upset.
Now, this is Mr.
I can't say names, but
Okay.
he told me not.
Okay.
You
Okay.
get shot.
But I think you might know who it is.
Okay.
The one we've been working on over the fence line,
Oh, okay, that one, okay.
and I don't,
But he's,
lawyers can tell us if we're lying
but
or not.
he's never mentioned to us that he has a problem about the 4 or 5, 6 acres. Only his home site.
Well,
And,
he's upset over that fence being over on his,
Okay.
because you all come out and staked it and showed that the
Mhm.
fence was on his land.
mhm.
And he keeps saying that over and over. I don't know nothing short of driving over there and putting him in the office.
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna have to do something.
Okay, we'll get that done. They were supposed to set a time to go and just rip the fence out.
Okay, thank you.
Donna?
You all ran a publication yesterday, yesterday in the newspaper, and it's on our little folks at home. And I just wanted you to check, it's the way you run it, it's exactly the 10th day if you count the first day and the last day for that hearing.
Yeah, we ran it on the 15th and the hearing's on the 25th.
Well, but I think one of those days you don't count. You either don't count the 15th or you don't, the way it's figured in the statutes, I think you got a 9-day publication. I just thought you might want to check.
Yeah, we'll check that again, but I was thinking that it's actually, isn't it the 11th day?
I hope you're right, but I'm thinking you have a 9-day publication for a 10-day requirement.
Okay, we'll check it again, but I think we were checking and from the 15th and to the 25th, it's either you look at it, you're counting the 15th.
Either don't count the 15th
or you don't count the other day.
And I know somebody will catch it from Tulsa.
There's actually 16 days in there, but it depends on how you count it.
Yeah, that's right. And I think she'll catch it. And I think there was a little formula, and I don't think we adhered to it.
We'll check with them to see if they have a problem with that.
I just thought it might give you time to get another day before the end of the month, if you needed to.
They may want to do a continuance on that.
I just wanted to look at it.
Okay, we'll do that.
Do we have any more questions for Mr. Donaldson? Thank you, Brenda.
Thank you.
Roads and Transportation, Michael Lynn.
Good afternoon. I'll make this brief as I can. I know we're running behind today. Just report real quick on some projects that we've got actively going. We met this past month with on the Cedar Crest Road and Bridge project in Mays County. We met with the landowner and his attorney, along with the county commissioner and the assistant district attorney in Mays County. Tried to come up with a resolution. When the landowner's attorney left, he asked that we give him 30 days to respond. His 30 days will be up on the 23rd of June, so hopefully we'll have a response then at some point. But between now and then, we'll be able to move forward with that project. The Daytown Dry Creek project in Delaware County is moving along with the weather conditions and everything that we've had, along with the Red Barn Road project here in Cherokee County. The weather has thrown the rain and stuff that we've had has thrown them behind some, but they are continuing to work and doing various things up on those projects. The Honey Hill project in Adair County, the condemnation is through on that project, and the money has been put in escrow. One thing that we're going to do that I would like to mention real quick is to break that project up into 2 phases. There is one landowner on that particular project that he was in the condemnation filing. He is on active duty, and he is protected, I'm being told, by the Soldier-Sailor Act, which I guess prohibits any civil cases against him. So what we're going to do is chop that project off at that property line and build all but about 3/4 of a mile of that project when he's off active duty and we can continue on with the proceedings. We will come back and reconstruct the first 3/4 of a mile. So I want to let you guys know that in case there's some questions out in the communities on that. We are starting to work with some utility companies on the project, trying to get them started there. Rice Woodard project here in Cherokee County. We actually have a utility meeting this week with the power, telephone, and gas authority and water company in our office this week. We have started moving some of the larger utilities out there. There was a big transmission line that we did relocate when we're working in conjunction together with the water and gas to try to get them located within the same trench if possible. There has to be some permitting and exceptions are given there, but we're working towards that. And then we have one job out for bid right now. It's in Cherokee County. It's the Cookson Road, or Blue Top Road, some people refer it to. It's off of up there out of Cookson, headed towards Marble City, and the project will start there off the state highway and end at the Cherokee-Sequoia County line. That project is under bid right now, out for advertisement. We will open bids on that a week from today, Monday, and have an award there shortly thereafter. And lastly, I just want to mention we've got 4 projects. 4 projects coming to Executive Finance this month. One for in Nowata County for Councilor Hoskin for the Centralia Bridge project for $35,000, and then 3 of them in Sequoia County. One sponsored by Councilor Thornton for some additional monies that were needed on a previously approved project, but we're coming forth for approval again for another $406 for some pipes, some tin horns that were left out on the first, left out by the county commissioner on the first request. And then the other 2 were sponsored by Councilor Thornton and Councilor Fulbright. That's the South Roland Road and Mineral Springs Road. All 4 of those total $213,305. That'll be coming this month, at the end of the month, for Executive Finance consent. And then lastly, we will be meeting with CATS on July 7th to discuss the transit route between Stillwell and Tahlequah. There has also been some coordination with C&I, their Human Resources Director. They had been working behind the scenes with CATS trying to coordinate a route from Tahlequah to Stillwell each day. So, and we didn't know about it, but the lady from CATS said, hey, you guys need to be talking. So I called her, and she's supposed to be at the meeting as well. I think it'll work out for all the parties. That way there won't be an empty bus traveling back and forth. They'll be carrying passengers at all times. So we'll know more after we meet with them on the 7th. There's also some state funding, some job access and reverse commute funding that CATS and Pelivan, the Northern Transit Agency, has applied for both of these routes that we've got planned. We're trying to coordinate, and they should know sometime in July on the status of that funding and that proposal. So hopefully we'll have some information next month to report. That's all I had to report this evening.
Michael, did you do paperwork from 4 Mile Corner out at Lost City Road on Doug Hubbard's, the overlay past 4 Mile Corner?
No, I guess I didn't. I haven't seen that.
Okay. We need to get that to you.
Okay. Do you have
It's a
it?
joint project with myself and Mr. Baker.
Okay.
And I thought it was already turned in, I'm sorry.
No, unless it's going
I'm
one.
watching for it to come up on one of the agendas, and it will continue where Mr. Bott stopped,
Mhm.
at 4 Mile Corner, and go on north, right? Yeah.
Is this the Lost City Road there?
Yes.
Okay. Let me check and see. I'll get back with you and let you know.
Okay.
Mr. Speaker?
Do you have a status report on this? I think it's called a Saline Bridge up by Kenwood, Lake County line.
The most I know is that when I spoke with Commissioner Pritchett the other day, you talking about where it's fallen in? When I spoke with Commissioner Pritchett the other day to notify him that the tribe would be granting some money towards that project, he was waiting on FEMA monies to come in as well as the engineering. And I actually know this because I saw an article in the prior paper that he expected the engineering to run another 30 or 45 days, something like that. So hopefully within the month. I know I've been getting some calls from a landowner, and she's probably, and I know she wants it opened up really bad. They're inconvenienced down there.
Yeah, I was going to say that they were talking about that they were being delayed by additional rain and flooding to prohibit them from drilling into the rock bed of the creek to start doing any type of construction.
I think that was in the paper as well, yeah. Their geotechnical stuff, yeah. And if they can't get in there, they just can't get in there. I mean, that's what it boils down to.
Tells that lady to call me.
And you tell her to call me, right?
Yeah.
We have more questions for Michael? Thank you, Michael.
Thank you, guys.
Environmental Program, Tom Elkins.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ladies and gentlemen, I know you have my report in your packet, so because of time I won't elaborate, but I'll take any questions you might have.
Joey?
Are we on compliance with the 60 and 90 days?
Yes, ma'am, we are, completely, as far as I know. I went out there Friday, and everything looked, there are some issues, but they're nothing to do with the compliance issues, either things that we have, but I mentioned it to Doug, and he's gonna be working on
Have they
those.
bought any more equipment?
Some, not to the extent that I would want, but they are working towards that direction, yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Any more questions for Tom?
Thank you.
We go to old business, I see none. Under new business,
Mr. Chair, I'd like to amend the agenda to add I believe it's a 7th item, which everyone should have in front of them, and I apologize for the addition, but it was handed to me right before the meeting. And it's just a resolution saying that we would formally accept the Claremore Federal Building, which I'm sure all of you are familiar with, but it is a paperwork requirement for the government in order to expedite the official handing over of the Claremore Federal Building. And I'd just like to move to amend the agenda to add it as the last item on the agenda in new business. And I believe Dr. Cobb seconded it.
hearing discussion on this. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Now, back to new business. Resolutions. Well, number 1, Kara, you got that
Yes, thank you.
resolution?
This resolution will seek funding or a grant in the amount of $250,000 with no match required for brownfield redevelopment. And that's with respect to our tribal populations as well as training and development and oversee environmental cleanups. They're not quite as harsh as a EPA Superfund site. They're actually able to clean them up, and I move for approval.
Second. Hearing discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Number 2,
This
Kara?
is for underground storage tanks, and it would provide technical assistance for tribally owned underground storage tanks, as well as make sure that we can locate them through GIS and providing a database, and then also ability to provide the monies for the UST or underground storage tank owner operator course. The grant is in the amount of $150,000 with $0 match requirement. I move for approval.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Number 3, Kara?
This grant provides radon workshops for homeowners, for training homeowners, and it offers testing for those homeowners to request it. The grant's in the form of $89,008 with an in-kind match of 40% or $35,603. I move for approval.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Carries. Number 4, Mr. Jack Baker.
This is a resolution to authorize a grant to provide necessary cleanup money for the removal of lead-based paint from the interior of Slim Courthouse. The federal funds applied for is $104,000 with a 20% match of $20,800, and I move for its approval and that it be moved to full council tonight.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
The next one is a resolution authorizing the Cherokee Nation Environmental Program to submit a formal application to the National Park Service for a historic preservation grant. And it's a $60,000 grant with no match, and it also needs to go to full council tonight, so I move for its approval and move to full council tonight.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Number 6, Jack Baker.
This is a resolution that amends a resolution we passed last month because there were some errors in it we need to correct, and it authorized the placement of Colin Husky site and trust, and it also needs to go to full council, so I move for its approval and move to full council tonight.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Next regular meeting is set for July the 14th.
Mr. Chairman, item number 7.
Oh, I'm sorry. Item number 7, Karen?
And if no one objects, I apologize, and I should have done it on items 1, 2, and 3, but due to the timeliness of those grants, we need to move those to full council tonight as well.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
So on item number 7, it is just that we, as a council, allowed Chief Smith to accept the Clenworth Federal Building, and the legal definition or legal description of that property is listed on the resolution. And I'd like to move for approval.
Second.
And that needs to go to full council as well tonight. Do you accept that?
All in
second?
favor?
Aye. I'm sorry, Madam Speaker. And I appreciate it. Yeah, 7 items at full council tonight, yeah. Move to adjourn. Aye.
Second. All in favor? I move to full council tonight.